Hi y'all, I'm Allison. The Start and Stop Betty Reads will be resuming in May. So we need to find out what book we're actually all going to gather together to read over the course of a week. And that decision is ultimately left up to all of y'all. I asked everyone to name a book, any book. There was no theme this time. And we're going to compile that list onto a spinner wheel. And then I'll give it 3 spins to narrow it down. And then it will be put out for the vote. So y'all will be deciding which book we will take the course of a week to read together at a slower pace, obviously, so we can speculate and guess and ooh and ah together our whole way through the book. First to go on the wheel comes from Read and Knit with Cheryl, and it's Premeditated Myrtle by Elizabeth C. Bunce. This came out in 2020. It's middle grade murder mystery, historical fiction, set in the 1800s or early 1900s. It's the first in a series, and this is actually a reread for Cheryl. She says it has humorous footnotes on top of everything else and thinks that we all should have a little bit more middle grade in our lives. And I agree with her 100%. I know a lot of y'all do too. Middle grade is so fun. The next book on our list comes from Stacy Schultz, and this is Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. This one came out in 2019. Historical fiction romance. It's a Victorian era, and it's the first in a series as well. As Stacey said, that this is one of her oldest unread Book of the Month Club books, and even though she expects to love it, she just hasn't picked it up yet. Then from Janaea at Live a Thousand Lives, we have Hood by Stephen R. Lawhead. This is a fresh take on the Robin Hood legend, and it came out in 2006. It's historical fiction fantasy. So Janae has had this one for a while and just hasn't gotten to it. So this would be a good push to get that book read. And as a side note, while I was gathering my notes, I noticed that Janaea has recently been to the ER. In fact, she's had to go quite a bit here recently. So if y'all can send your thoughts and prayers her way, I'm sure she would greatly appreciate that. And her channel is Live a Thousand Lives if you want to go over and send her some well wishes. So I did hear from her this morning. She is back at home and she's recovering. So I'm relieved to hear that. Janaea, I hope you're feeling better soon. Now from Brittany's Books and Random Things, we have Crown of Fire by Lindsay Hall. And Brittany said this is her smallest book on her Kindle, shortest one. And she is going to be going on a trip in May and plans to read this on the bus. So she thought this would be a fun one for us to read together. This came out in 2020 and it's a fantasy romance. So maybe a romantasy. And this one is about the Fae. Then from Tanya Reid, we have We Free Men by Terry Pratchett. This is the first in the Tiffany Aching series. She's been wanting to reread it for a long time. It's been about 20 years and she doesn't really remember much from it. So I've never read anything from the Discworld, and Terry Pratchett is on my list to get to one day. So that's awesome to see. By the way, this one came out in 2003. It's a fantasy coming of age story set in the Discworld. Next up from Rebellious Reviewer, we have A Light from the Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki. I hope I pronounced that wrong. Right. I'm just tripping over my words today. Persevere. Okay, anyway, and this one, she got it in a sub box. Tailored book recommendations. I haven't heard of this one before. Anyway, she said that she had gotten 3 books recommended from them and she loved them all. So she decided to join their subscription service. And she did do a video about it if anybody is looking for a new sub box to check out. You might want to go check out her video after you get all your information to vote, of course. Okay, and then next up from Christine at An Autistic Reader, we have Summer in the Scottish Highlands. This is by Donna Ashcroft and it came out in 2021. It's a contemporary romance. There is little to no spice in this one. And Christine said that Ashcroft is an underrated romance writer, and did note this one is on Kindle Unlimited. There's like a whole Christmas series from this author, from this series, but it's like set aside, and I'm making note of that for December. But moving back along to our buddy read from a Kit Kat, we have Foe by I'm assuming this is still Ian Reid. Came out in 2018, a sci-fi thriller. Kit Kat, still loving your name, says that she's always wanted to read it, and it has a very interesting premise. Then from Gamer Girl 77, we have What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. I hope I got that. This one came out in 2023, so it's a relatively new release, and it checked all my boxes. So Gamer Girl says it's The Mummy and meets Death on the Nile in historical fantasy set in Egypt, filled with adventure, a rival to lovers, and a dangerous race. And this is the first in a duology. And she says specifically she loves Egypt and historical fiction with a bit of an Agatha Christie type mystery. And it sounds like a great read. I agree. So then next up from Sue Logue Johnson. I hope I got that right. We have Mother's Day and Murder by Tanya Capps. I'm going to say Capps. This is a short little cozy mystery from 2022. And there's a whole series where they're based on the holidays. This one is actually number 2 in the series, I believe. But being a cozy mystery, those you can pretty much pick and choose as you want. So, yeah, this is a short one. It's only like 190 pages. And I love that cover. It's adorable. Next up from Brenna, we have Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. This 2022 mystery lives on my shelves. I just haven't gotten to it yet, and neither has Brenna. So she plans to read this in May and would love to discuss it with everyone. I think it would be, and I think it was, I don't know if it was Lucinda or Aussie Gamer Girl. Somebody said that they've read it and really enjoyed it too. So I can't wait to read it. We'll just see if it makes our short list. And that was by Benjamin Stevenson. Moving right along, next up from Whitney at Tibora's Den, we have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. This came out in 2023. It's historical fantasy, and I'm sure y'all have seen this cover going around everywhere. I know I have. So Whitney said that she's ready to read the sequel, the second one, but she would love to reread this first one with us. So that's always a sign of a good book if you're ready to reread it almost immediately. From For the Love of Four, we have The Traitor's Kiss by Erin Beatty. This one came out in 2017. It's a YA fantasy romance. She says that Erin Beatty is an overlooked author, and this is an overlooked series, but the writing is amazing and it's a beautiful cover with major plot twists. It's a book you want to read a second time, and overall just a lot of fun. So that looks, I do like that cover. And I know for a fact this one's on the Kindle because she has the Kindle version. All right, moving on. We have another one that I own that I've been really excited to read. And this comes to us from Megan Clemens. Megan was a little stymied by not having a theme this month. I believe this is our first time to submit a book. So I suggested maybe throwing out a mystery because I know those are always a win with this group. So she came back with Choosing the Appeal by Janice Hallett, but when she noticed I've already read it, she changed it and decided to go with The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins, which I obviously own. So this one came out in 2015. Storygraph calls it a contemporary literary thriller, and I know this is like based on, I don't know that I would go so far as call it a retelling of 450 from Paddington by Agatha Christie. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. We'll have to see if it makes a short list though. Next up from Sarah Hart's books, we have Morrigan's Cross by Nora Roberts. I know a lot of y'all love her, and I haven't read any of her books in a long time. But this one is the first in a trilogy, and it came out in 2006. It's a fantasy romance. Does have multiple covers, so I'm just going to toggle a few for you. But it has been sitting on Sarah's shelves forever, and she needs a reason to pick it up. And I think it was Lucinda who said it was a good one. And then last but not least, squeaking in at the last moment, actually after deadline, but that's okay because I'm running behind too. We have Nick Patel's submission, and that is The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. And looky here, it's another one I have. So I've been wanting to read this as well. This actually came out in 1868, and from what I understand, this is what gave us the modern detective story was The Moonstone, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. This is a classic Victorian era mystery, and it has been on Nick's TBR for 3 years. Wilkie Collins is one of their favorite classic authors, so a great way to round out our wheel. So now for the exciting part. Let me pull up my wheel. We'll give it a spin and find out which 3 are going to make it for the vote. Again, I am so glad I don't have to make the decision, because I don't think there was a single book in here that I wasn't like, yeah, I want to read that and that and that. Oh my God, I probably could have given you the whole list before this spins. Yeah, I'm going to have to find a new site, I think. Although we do have rain going on. There's like a thunderstorm. There it goes. Okay, what's our first book? The Moonstone. Nick, your book made it. Talk about just sliding in at the last second. That is cool, and I already own it. Okay, this one sounds like a lot of fun and right up our alley. We're going to have a homey English setting with a colorful colonial India background and multiple suspects, which are going to remind us of other books. Because, like I said, this kind of laid the groundwork for the detective genre. It has a unique narrative structure. There's a theft of a fabulous diamond from the lovely heroine, a bloody murder and tragic suicide, a poor hero in love with the heroine, but suspected of the crime, who can't remember anything that happened the night the jewel was stolen. Assorted friends, relatives, servants, a lawyer, a doctor, a sea captain, suspects all, and most essentially, a bumbling local policeman and a brilliant, eccentric London detective. It's going to be full of unexpected twists, a bit of dark satire, a dash of social comment, and filled with suspense, action, and romance. So this sounds like it's going to be so much fun. There's a thunderstorm going on. Yeah, did you hear that? How's that for extra drama to the book? But there's going to be like 11 suspects, and they each have their own voice, and I guess we're going to get all of their POVs. And yeah, this one sounds like a good time. Again, this came out in 1868 originally. Victorian era mystery. Let's find out what the second book's going to be. I hid Moonstone and spin. Jeez Louise. I could have gone and gotten another Diet Coke. Drama. So how's everybody doing? Can you hear the rain? Foe. I don't know off the top of my head what that one is, other than a very short title. This is the sci-fi thriller. Let me find some more information. And this is Kit Kat's book. So, Kit Kat, you made the short list. Okay, so Foe was actually a Goodreads Choice Awards nominee for 2023. And this is going to be a short sci-fi thriller that's supposed to be thought-provoking and in a secluded setting. So we're going to have Junior and Hen. They're a quiet married couple living a solitary life out on a farm away from the city lights, but in close quarters with each other. And one day, a stranger arrives. Junior has randomly been selected to travel far away from the farm, very far away. And most unusual, arrangements have already been made, so when he leaves, Hen won't have the chance to miss him at all, because she won't be left alone even for a moment. Hen will have company, familiar company. So this one's supposed to examine the nature of domestic relationships, self-determination, and what it means to be, or not to be, a person. Eerily entrancing page turner turns with unease and suspense from the first words to the shocking finale. So it's supposed to be a great fit for thought-provoking sci-fi lovers in a secluded setting. So this one's very short and, yeah, psychological mind bender. And to finish off the list, we have more lag and potentially a third book. You can do it, Wheel. Come on. Here we go. Maybe. It's pathetic. It hurt me. I should have restarted my computer. And we have, I can't read it from this far. I need the pop-up. Hello. Oh, there we go. The We Free Men. That's the Terry Pratchett book. Who was that by? Was that Tanya? It was Tanya. Yeah, Tanya. No, Tanya didn't write it. Terry Pratchett did. But I already said that Terry Pratchett wrote it. But Tanya suggested it. Tanya Reid, your book made the list. Oh. My brain went blank. It's the Terry Pratchett book. So this is number 30 in the whole Discworld series out of 41 books, I believe. But it's the first one in the Tiffany Aching series. So which I think might be 5 books deep, but don't quote me on that. So this time we're going to have Tiffany armed only with a frying pan and her common sense. She's a young witch to be, and she must defend her home against the monsters of fairyland. Luckily, she has some unusual help. The local Nakmak Feagle, aka the We Free Men, a clan of fierce, sheep-stealing, sword-wielding, 6-inch high blue men. Together they must face headless horsemen, ferocious grimhounds, terrifying dreams come true, and ultimately the sinister queen of elves herself. So this is supposed to be a great fit for those seeking fun and imaginative coming-of-age story, where an intelligent young girl uses her wit and unconventional help to confront perilous, fantastical threats in a whimsical Discworld setting. Okay, again, I don't know how y'all are going to decide because we got 3 very distinctive books. We have a classic straight-up mystery, and we have a sci-fi thriller, and then a whimsical fantasy. So I don't envy you, and I'm really curious to see which one's going to win. In fact, something I've been wanting to do for a while, I am going to make a prediction, because the past few couple of times I have actually guessed which book y'all are going to vote for, and I haven't failed yet. So before we finish today's video, I'm going to write down my choice, put it in an envelope, and seal it up, and then we'll see after the vote if I was correct in my guess. And this time, I don't know, I'm going to have to think about this, because normally I have an inkling on which way y'all are going to go. This time, I don't know. It could go so many ways. So, okay. While I think about that, let me give you some pertinent information. I did look. Great news for everybody. All 3 of these books were available at my library, whether you are looking for a print copy, audiobook, or ebook. So that is going to be awesome. So it should be quite easy for everybody to get their hands on a book without necessarily having to dish out any money. Now, on the Moonstone book, I obviously have the Barnes & Noble edition. Okay, so it always comes with extra information. There's a timeline at the front to put it into historical context and an introduction to the book, which you never want to read if you've never read the book, because it was chock full of spoilers. And then there's also notes, because it also is annotated, which I absolutely love. I love getting classics through Barnes & Noble because I like all of the context that it provides. So Barnes & Noble is still selling this, and as of today, it's $7.95 for the paperback. They also have an ebook format for $2.99, and Penguin has an edition of the book as well for $10. Amazon, you can get it on your Kindle for like 49 cents. Okay, Foe is a short book. It's only like 200 and something pages. So we will only have 3 stops for that one, which means 4 videos. The other 2 books, we will have 5 videos because there will be 4 stops. Foe, again, is available at the library in print form. Barnes & Noble is much more expensive. Amazon has it for $10, Barnes & Noble $16, and their ebooks are about $1 apart. And Amazon does have an audio copy of the book. We Free Men, the library has all 3 formats, and it looks like Amazon has the cheapest paperback version for $9.79. Barnes & Noble has it $15.99. Ebooks are about $1 from each other, and they both have it available on audiobook. I'm going to give you a full week this time. So you'll have until 6 p.m. Sunday, April 28th. I can't believe that's a week away to cast your vote. And then I will compile the information. Come back, we'll do our announcement video. I will give you the exact dates for the buddy read and our first magical paragraph that will keep everybody in sync on the same page. Because you will have the option to either read ahead up until our stop, or you can actually read along with me. I will include like chapter breaks so you can pause the video and read and then hear what I have to say about it. So those are your chances. You've got 1 week to cast your vote. The poll will be available on my community tab. So hop on over there, cast your vote, and then we got to wait and see who's going to win. If for some reason you can't get to that, I don't know if it's available on phones and whatnot, and you want to cast your vote down in the comments, feel free to do that. Just be sure and flag me and tell me you couldn't make it over to the poll and to count your vote from the comment. Otherwise, the only votes that will be counted are the ones on the official vote itself. I'm sure that made sense. So let me go ahead and decide which book I think y'all are going to pick and seal it in my envelope, and we'll reveal it during the announcement. I'm not confident this time. I don't know which way y'all can go anyway. These are all incredible. So thank you everybody for all of your suggestions. Nick, Kit Kat, and Tanya, I can't wait to see which one of your book is going to win. Which one of your books is going to win. Yeah, I'm stalling because I don't know which to pick. Okay, I have my new paper. Put it in an envelope. Hopefully you couldn't see through that because I wrote with a very thick marker. Seal that up, and we will set it aside, and then I will open it and show you. Doesn't want to stick anymore. And I'll open it when we do the announcement and we find out who our winner is. See if I guessed right. I am not confident in this one at all because they're all so different. I don't know. Let's see if I can just stay there until it's time. All right, so I can't wait to see who's going to win. And yeah, be sure and go over and cast your vote. I will see y'all day after tomorrow as we resume my I really am mess. Getting close to the home stretch. All right. I will see y'all later. I almost said sweet dreams. Good night. I love you. But okay. Love y'all. Bye.